Today we are going to be talking about the Splattershot. It is a great weapon to start and learn the game and rank up gear, but it also can be used throughout the game in ranked play, so mastering it will give an advantage in your matches. The Splattershot is average in every stat, but average does not mean bad. The Splattershot has average spread and decent accuracy. The weapon can get the turf that it requires to build its special at a decent rate. The weapon does 36 damage at an optimal range of 2.2 meters or less, having a fast time to splatter with only 3 shots. It is also able to hit shots up to 2.5 meters, doing 33 damage, making it just short of the 3-shot splatter. But if just one of these shots is within the optimal range, then you will always be able to get that 3-shot splatter. With these average stats in every category, it can be useful in most situations. This weapon is great for getting started on turf wars, since there is a randomness with which weapons your teammates can have, and you will be able to fill any role on the team. If your team is full of long range weapons with low turf capability, they can stay back and collect the home turf for your team. If your team is full of short range spray weapons such as the NZAP or the aero spray or any rollers, then you can push forward and protect your team while they can ink your home turf. If you see a roller or brush coming towards you, back up as you shoot them so they can't get into a range which they can splatter you. If they get too close, quickly hold the left trigger to swim backwards and create a little bit of space to avoid being splattered. For longer range weapons such as the chargers and gals, you can effectively fight them up close. Going directly towards them is not a great way to fight them. If they see you coming, they can easily cut you off your ink or splatter you. It is a lot more effective to sneak up on them and get 1 or 2 shots off before they see you, giving you the advantage. Or better, to hide in your own ink or around corners and let them come to you where they have the disadvantage at that. Fighting at the correct range can apply to most weapons in Splatoon, and when transitioning from other shooter games can be hard to get used to, since in Splatoon the bullets have a limited travel distance and will cut off at a certain distance. The sub-weapon is the suction bomb, which is also great in many situations. It can be sucked to surfaces and will not bounce, therefore when you test the arc to see where it will land, it will always go where expected. The direct damage from the suction bomb is able to instantly splat someone, or the splash damage is able to take 1 long range shot off required to get the splatter. But it does have a long detonation time, so it is not effective to throw directly at someone and expect to get a splatter because they can easily get away. It would be more effective to throw in anticipation, since it will take a long time to detonate. The enemy will be blocked off in going that area for a short period of time. This is quite effective when you see multiple enemies coming towards you with a little bit of distance between them. You can lob a suction bomb to cut off the one behind and face the closer one in a safe 1v1, then assess whether you should fight the second one or run. The suction bomb also creates a lot of turf, giving you points towards your special, and can be lobbed at the start of the game to gain points. Also, they detonate after a turf wars game is finishing, giving you some extra score. Downside to the suction bomb is that it consumes a lot of ink. If you have thrown one, you still have the ink for the bullets that you need to splatter someone, but you will be left very low, and if you don't hit your shots, then you will be left with no ink. You should avoid throwing one mid-fight because you will have no ink left, or it won't go off because of the lack of ink to throw the suction bomb. Instead, you should start a fight one with a little bit of time to recover ink so you definitely have enough bullets to win the fight, or you should use them from a hiding spot to support the team and you won't have to get in a fight with low ink. This is not for spamming. Think before you throw. The special is a Trizuka, which unless you're already in a fight or you can't see any opponents around you, you can pretty much use a Trizuka as soon as you get it. You don't get long to fire the 3 shots, so you don't want to be wasting time with the Trizuka looking for opponents or waiting for them to spawn. You don't get a lot of time, but you do get enough time to think through your shots. A direct hit will instantly splatter someone, whereas the splash damage will do 40 damage and create a lot of turf, limiting their escape paths. Since there is a bit of delay in the game, sometimes you have splattered someone but the game has not registered it yet, so you may fire again and then realise you already splattered them. Therefore, you should not be trigger happy with this weapon, wasting your shots. The gear slots I would recommend for this weapon are Stealth Jump, because it is good at sneaking in most situations. You will be able to get straight into the action sneakily, which is good for this weapon. This can also go with Fast Respawn and Quick Super Jump, so you can get into the action just that bit quicker. Also would recommend Ink Resist Up in case you need to get in a fight in some enemy grounds and you won't be at too much of a disadvantage. You may be tempted to use Ink Recovery Up or Ink Saver Sub so you can throw more suction bombs. 1 or 2 sub slots can be useful, but it is not necessary if you think before throwing a suction bomb, and you would never be able to throw 2. These are my recommendations for gear from what I have tested and what works for me. What works for you may be different, so go play around the gun and test and see what would work for you. As I said at the start, it is average in every set, so it can work with most gear sets, and it is the weapon that I use to level up gear sets. So, what do you think about the Splattershot? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Let me know in the comment section below. I would love to hear your opinions and gear recommendations. If you have enjoyed and this has been helpful, leave a like and consider subscribing. I test the weapons and stream my gameplay on Twitch most days, so check me out over there and get a preview of the next weapon, or you can request what you think the next weapon should be. Until next time, see ya.